Let's reel it back to 2019, the year when we saw education for the first time. The quirky British show was a refreshing take on a topic that's still very much taboo in our world, but with clever writing, the show turned out to be absolutely sensational. And as we anxiously wait for season 4, Asa Butterfield has some serious tea to spill, and we'll cover all of that and more in today's video.
Are those ones that like to do it in animal costumes?
No, he wanted to wear a strap-on. She's not really into it. It's a classic power dynamic issue.
First off, Asa Butterfield talks about Education's Season 4 on Capital Breakfast. If you're a die-hard fan of education like us, then we're sure that you're pretty much at the edge of your seat waiting for the new season to drop. And while we're literally daydreaming of what's coming next, thank God for Asa for coming through with some updates. As we know, when Season 3 came out last year in 2021, everyone practically binged the entire show in one night in anticipation. Seeing the characters go on such a journey from Seasons 1 to 3 has been remarkable to witness. Otis, who started off as a shy teenager with sound knowledge about health, is now on his way to becoming a whole person on his own. Sure, there's been plenty of ups and downs in between, but he's braved through all of them with his best friend Eric right by his side. And as we are inching closer and closer to the new season, it's definitely going to be interesting seeing new faces join the show, and one of these faces is none other than the man behind one of our favorite on-screen characters, Dan Levi. During his conversations with Roman, Asa talked about how excited he was about Dan joining the show, but while he was over the moon about his new co-star, he had some disappointing news to share too. As it turns out, the two of them won't be sharing any screen time together. Seeing how both actors will have characters in different places at all times, Dan will be joining the show as one of the American university teachers, while Otis will stay in Wales. What a bummer.
I might have a mild to moderate crush on Maeve. She touched my eyebrows. Now I have an erection.
Now, let's talk more about the upcoming season. Now, just because we probably won't get our Dan and Asa crumbs on our screen doesn't mean we're not looking forward to the next season. While sharing more about what his experience has been like being a part of the show, Asa shared how proud he was of the success of the show. He also admitted that when the show first came out, he was pretty surprised by the way it was received because he thought it was an incredibly risky show to put on. And he's not wrong either. Not many shows on mainstream media are open about sex like this show, and since its release, there's been a shift in the way education is viewed as a whole. In one of the GQ interviews from last year, Asa mentioned that growing up in the UK, there was no formal education about sex or even intimacy. There was certainly no information about gay. So seeing how the show's inclusive narrative brought together a diverse group of people was really something different for him. The show's overall global appeal sits on the premise of diversity and inclusivity of all the people in the show, regardless of color, gender, or orientation, combined with the epic highs and lows of being a teenager. With Moordale Secondary closing down, Otis and the rest of his classmates will now have to adjust to a new school soon. And since Maeve's taking a giant leap along with Dan Levi on a new adventure across the pond, Season 4 is definitely going to make for an exciting watch.
Hello, I'm Shruti Gatwa, and I am the next Doctor in the next season of Doctor Who.
Coming up, it's bestie season. Here's Asa's reaction to Shruti Gatwa as the newest Doctor. If you've been following our previous videos, then you'd know how much we've gagaed over Shruti being the new Doctor. With him taking on the titular role in the Woniverse, Gatwa will now be the first black actor to play a role that's always been played by predominantly white actors and actresses. So you can imagine how overwhelming it is to see Shruti step into such shoes and make his own path. Now we know being a part of the Doctor Who franchise is a pretty big deal, and when we found out earlier in 2022 that Gatwa will be joining the show as the Doctor, you best believe our jaws dropped, and apparently so did Asa's. Butterfield revealed that when the news was made public, he found out about the casting at the same time as everyone did, and pretty shocked to know he wasn't told about it. That's like Tom Holland finding out about him being Spider-Man on Instagram. Geez, is this a Brit thing? Nonetheless, there's no hard feeling between these two brothers, as Asa texted him as soon as he found out and thought Shruti would do a great job as the Doctor. Moving on, in case you didn't know, there's a new Asa Butterfield movie in town, and he's giving all the feels in this new Christmas rom-com. We know what you're thinking. That's a pretty huge jump from the satirical nature of Education. But hey, it's Asa, and it's a Christmas movie. We're not saying no to that. Apparently, Asa almost did, considering how he never thought he'd be doing a movie so festive. Instead, he admitted that filming one is a hard job and was pretty candid about his new experience. If you want to know what new deets the actor dished about Your Christmas or Mine, then keep watching as we walk you through all of it. First up, Asa thinks it's hard to film an original Christmas movie. Who doesn't love Christmas movies? It's literally our second favorite time of the year. Now, before you raise those pitchforks, we say second because we're a little biased toward the spooky season. But really, we just need a reason to get all cozy and warm watching festive films. And fine, the movies get a little predictable, and the plot lines are getting a little too repetitive. But still, there's nothing that a good old Christmas movie can't fix. Still, through all of the cliches and the tropes, it seems like Asa's new film is here to change some minds. While speaking exclusively to RadioTimes.com, the Education actor revealed that something like a Christmas movie was never on the radar for him. Even though he loves the holiday, he's not watched that many Christmas films to begin with. And we gotta say, we find that a little hard to believe, Asa. There's no way you dodged the Love Actually craze. But still, even though he claims he loves the festive time of the year, it wasn't until he read the script that he was sure this was a project he wanted to do. The thing with producing original content for Christmas films is that they always have a happy ending, which makes them tricky to deal with. After all, every time there's a happy ending, the main leads are obviously going to end up together even after the big breakup. So there's not much you can tweak around when there are so many cliches involved. But this is where Asa's new film is different. Up next, so what made him choose this movie? In the film, Asa and his co-star Cora Kirk star as James and Haley, two loved-up students who accidentally end up spending their Christmas at each other's family home when a romantic gesture turns out to be a little too chaotic. Now, we won't spoil the film for you, but when James and Haley decide they want to surprise each other for the holidays, it turns out they're surprised when there's a cheeky mix-up with their train schedules. He felt the story was fresh, funny, real, and relatable. And while reading the script, he could see all of it come together as he turned the pages. For him, that's the sign of a great story, one that effortlessly leads you to the end, and that was sort of the point when he knew he had to do the movie. Last but not least, is the movie worth your time? By now, you're probably opening the Prime Video tab as we speak and are itching to look the movie up. And if you're stuck with us until the end, then we assure you the movie's definitely worth every second of your time. With well-known characters, a witty storyline, and a few touches of drama, the movie's an excellent watch for the holidays. Asa's co-star, Daniel Mays, also agreed that he was immediately drawn to the script and felt that the film was grounded in truth and social realism. And if that's not enough to convince you, then hear us out. What's better than a cheesy Christmas rom-com with Asa Butterfield? Not many things come to our minds. And that's a wrap on this video, you guys. What are your theories for season 4? Are you excited to see Dan Levi again soon? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Until next time, see you then.